Welcome to tutorialsinhand.com. In this video tutorial, we are going to see an example of arithmetic exception. That means we will check when an arithmetic exception can occur and how we can handle the arithmetic exception that has occurred. So first try to understand when an arithmetic exception can occur. So just take an example. For example, we are taking an integer value and then we are again taking another integer value and assigning it value 0. Now suppose we try to perform division. In this situation, what we are doing is we are dividing 10 by 0, which means whenever we are dividing 10 by 0, it will go to infinity, and infinity is something which will fall under the category of arithmetic exception. Now let's first try to print this one as well. Print the result. Run this program. Let's see what will happen. See, you will get exception in thread main java.lang arithmetic exception division by 0. So this is something which will make your program end abruptly. Suppose this is a big application written for some banking APIs, and all of a sudden the user or website gets this error. It would be something like very awkward for the user, and they will not be able to understand what exactly happened over here. So as a programmer, whenever you are dealing with these kind of situation, it is your responsibility to make sure that if any of such exception occurs, you will be catching those exceptions using your try catch block methods. So what you will do is you will write try and catch block and just take one closing bracket for try as well. So we have closed the try, and then within catch just give this bracket once again, and we will have the closing bracket. And within catch, what we can do is we can write exception or arithmetic exception. So if you are writing exception over here, that means you are catching all type of exception. So whether it is arithmetic exception, whether it is null pointer exception, all will be caught by this catch block. But since we are seeing something specific to arithmetic exception, so what we will do is we will only catch arithmetic exception, and we are not concerned or bothered about any other kind of exception for now. So just take this one, arithmetic exception. Now any arithmetic exception that occurs within this try block will be caught by this catch block, and whenever any exception occurs, this catch block will be executed. And within this catch block, what you can do is you can simply pass your message. You can print your message over here, arithmetic exception occurred. And now if you run this program, you will see this will not end abruptly as it ended earlier. This time your program will execute, and you will be shown the message that you have written within the catch block. Now arithmetic exception occurred. Now what is the advantage of using this catch block? Now in the first situation, suppose you had some other logic written after this code, means after this set of code that you have written, means after division, suppose you had some other set of code. For example, suppose you wanted to print any statement even after the arithmetic exception was caught, you still wanted to print something. For example, our program ends. Now whenever you will execute this code, what will happen is this statement will also get executed, that our program ends. That means even though the exception occurred, but the program doesn't end abruptly. Your next statements, whether it is one statement or you can write any number of statements after that, all will be executed. So this helps the programmer, or this helps the APIs to tackle the situations where these kind of exceptions occur, but still the next set of instructions can be executed easily. Now if you want to understand where the error, what I am trying to say, just try to comment these try catch blocks out, and let's try to understand what I was trying to say. Let's close all these. Now if you see this, now we have came back to the original scenario where we stood earlier before we used try catch. Now in this situation, whenever 10 by 0 will be executed, so it will result in arithmetic exception, and then we have this line, this instruction, but in this case this instruction will never get executed, because whenever arithmetic exception is caught, your program, that is arithmetic exception tutorial class, doesn't know what to do with that arithmetic exception. So it ends abruptly, it ends your program abruptly, and other set of instructions which are after that line of means line will not get executed. So in this case, if you execute now, our program ends will never get executed, and you will be thrown this awkward message by the compiler that exception in thread main occurred, that is division by 0. And this thread main tells you that within the main method this exception has occurred. So this is why we use try catch block to handle these kind of situations. So once we use try catch block, then you are already aware that this time your code will run successfully even if this arithmetic exception is thrown over here. So when arithmetic exception will be thrown at this place, it will simply go to catch block, and then once the catch block is executed, other set of instructions which follows this try catch block will get executed without any issue. So let's execute this one once again. So one more thing you have to notice is arithmetic exception occurred is printed, that is within the catch block, right? That is within the catch block. But you have to notice that this system.out.println result is never printed. This is because whenever this instruction was executed, it has thrown arithmetic exception, and once the arithmetic exception occurs, your program will either try to look for something, whether this has been handled by try catch or not, and if it is not handled, the compiler error message will be thrown, the one that we already saw, that exception occurred in thread main. So in this case, since we have handled this in try catch block, it will directly go from this line number 13 to catch block, and thus omit this line, and it is never printed. Once the catch block is executed from here after exception is caught, and then it will come out of try block, and then other set of instructions will be happily executed. And this is how we handle arithmetic exception. At the same time, if you remove this arithmetic exception with exception, then also it will work in the similar way, because arithmetic exception is the subclass of exception, and if you are writing exception, that means arithmetic exception will be taken care by this exception. But since suppose you want to be very specific with the type of exception that you want to catch, then you have to write that specific exception. For example, just check this one. Now we have two catch block, right? And this time what we will do is we will write arithmetic exception as well. Which exception do you think will be executed? In this case, since this line after execution will throw arithmetic exception, so obviously now this arithmetic exception block will be executed and it will not execute this exception. Now suppose you have any other line of code that throws array index out of bound or anything else which is in the line number 12. So in that case what will happen is it will be array index out of bound exception at line number 12. So this time arithmetic exception catch block will not get executed. It will try to first see for that specific kind of exception, that is array index out of bound. Since array index out of bound is not present, but array index out of bound is subclass of exception, so this catch block will take care of that array index out of bound exception. So now I think you have understood how you can have a multiple catch block to handle the exceptions that would occur in your program. I think you might have enjoyed this session and also have been able to clearly learn what is arithmetic exception, when arithmetic exception can be thrown, and whenever arithmetic exception is thrown, what you should do in order to handle that exception. Thanks for learning with us.